Grand Rising, and welcome to another segment of CLG View Point. I'm Cindy Lorraine Grais, and it is Tuesday, March the 4th, 2025, segment number 30. Well, today we're going to start off with a look at quantum teleportation, the future of the internet. Local news, a body found in Langley home after explosion possibly linked to illegal drug extraction lab. Canada Post Union failed to reach deal. Point-in-time homeless count to take place. And international news, China discovers something extraordinary, never-ending energy source. And our closing today, we'll be showing a video on the Repair Cafe in South Surrey, White Rock, BC. I like to start every segment with a clearing. It's an energy clearing of all low entities. And this is a sage stick, and you light it up, and I'm clearing all the negative energies, leaving divine love and divine light. It's only allowed here. To all low energy entities, you are healed, forgiven, enlightened, and sent back to your perfect place, and escorted by my spiritual guides. And so it is. Leaving divine love and divine light. On to our first video, quantum teleportation.
Pulled off a technological feat that sounds impossible, transmitting information without physically sending it. Well, scientists at Northwestern University did just that for the first time. It's called quantum teleportation, and it's been done over the internet cables that are actively in use. This is a breakthrough that could reshape how we communicate in the future. So how do they do it, and why is this such a big deal? Let's dive in. So first off, let's talk about what they teleported. No, it's not like Star Trek where entire objects are beamed from one place to another. We're talking about quantum teleportation, transmitting the state of a quantum bit, or qubit, from one location to another without physically moving the particle itself. Here's where it gets a little technical. A qubit is different from the classical binary bits that power the internet we use today. A qubit can exist in a state of 0, 1, or even both at the same time thanks to something called superposition. To teleport this state, the researchers relied on quantum entanglement. Entanglement is a phenomenon where two particles are linked so strongly that the state of one instantly influences the state of the other, even if they're miles apart. Using this connection, the team transmitted the quantum state over 30 kilometers of fiber optic cable. Maintaining entanglement over such a long distance wasn't easy. Quantum signals are incredibly fragile and degrade as they travel. And here's the kicker. The cable wasn't just sitting idle, it was actively carrying regular internet traffic at the same time. Now, let's talk about why this is such a groundbreaking achievement. Most quantum teleportation experiments happened in isolated sterile labs where everything could be perfectly controlled. But this wasn't a lab. It was a real-world fiber optic cable actively carrying high-speed internet data. The teleportation wasn't done just in any cable either. It used an active fiber optic network managed by Chicago's quantum research infrastructure. The researchers isolated specific wavelengths in the cable, think of them as special lanes on a busy highway, for the quantum information to travel without getting disrupted by all the other data. And as if that wasn't challenging enough, the team also had to account for noise caused by classical internet traffic. This real-world complexity makes the achievement even more impressive, proving that quantum teleportation can coexist with the internet infrastructure that we use today. So why does this matter? Two huge reasons: security and scalability. First, let's talk about security. Quantum communication is practically unhackable. If anyone tries to intercept the data, the quantum state collapses and the intrusion is immediately detectable. And here's where this ties directly into quantum computing. Today's encryption methods, like RSA, are at risk of being broken by the sheer power of quantum computers in the near future. This kind of teleportation lays the groundwork for quantum key distribution, a technology that can protect against even quantum-level hacking. The second reason is scalability. Because this experiment used existing fiber optic cables, it shows that we don't need to build a whole new network to enable the quantum internet. We can layer it on top of what we already have, potentially saving billions in infrastructure costs. Now, it's not perfect. There's about a 10% error rate right now, but that's expected in these early stages. The point is, we're no longer dealing with hypothetical ideas. This experiment shows that a quantum internet is feasible even in this messy, noisy real world. In short, quantum teleportation over busy internet cables is a massive step toward building the quantum internet, a system that could redefine communication and security forever. And speaking of...
Wow. So much new technologies, and we're just moving fast with the new technology. Quantum teleportation, exciting, so exciting. Now we're on to Local news. Body found in Langley home after explosion, possibly linked to illegal drug extraction lab. Global news written by Amy Judd and Kristen Robinson, posted on March the 3rd, 2025. A body has been found in a home that exploded in Langley on Friday morning. RCMP said in an update on Monday morning that officers are working with the BC Coroner's Service to identify the deceased person, which they previously stated was a woman. In addition, the RCMP said that preliminary examination of the scene as investigators focus on the cause of the explosion and fire, which may be consistent with what is found at an illegal drug extraction lab. However, officers said it may take some time to conclude. We looked at the expertise provided by the Township of Langley Fire Department. That is one of the angles that we're still looking at, preliminary. That's what we're saying at this time. However, everything will be looked at until a definite conclusion is found. Sergeant Zanel Zerum with Langley RCMP said. Now on to the video.
Investigators sift through the debris where one person was killed and 2 more seriously injured. RCMP confirmed the explosion, which destroyed this Langley Township home and damaged 5 others, is believed to have been sparked by an illegal drug lab. The thunderous blast jolted the neighborhood Friday morning.
It's surreal. It looked like a movie. It didn't look real.
Mark Mullins ran to help and saw 2 people emerge from the exploding home.
These 2 gentlemen kind of crawled out of the rubble and, wearing aprons, and their clothes were all tattered and ripped and stuff, and their hair was all singed. The skin was all, burnt.
Neighbors say the victim who died was the wife of one of the 2 men who escaped the blast.
Just felt the house go whoosh.
I'm shaking. I'm so scared.
Property records list the owners of the home as Hung Mang Tran and Tino Hun Lam. Do the owners have criminal records for drug production?
I can't speak to that.
A 50-year-old man with the same name as Hung Mang Tran appealed his 2004 sentence for a marijuana grow-up at a home he and his wife rented in Burnaby with their 2 kids. Tran received 12 months jail for producing a controlled substance and possessing a controlled drug for the purpose of trafficking. The appeal court justice ruled Tran's sentence was fit, noting the landlord and community suffered, quote, "The grow operation was set up in a way that made it dangerous, not only to Mr. Tran's family, but to the neighborhood." Numerous compressed gas tanks are piling up outside of Tran's now leveled Langley home. Neighbors say officials have told them the blast could have been much worse and potentially taken out multiple homes.
I think it's concerning that, individuals apparently have decided to conduct this activity in a basement suite in a relatively dense neighborhood. It's totally unacceptable. If no one in the neighborhood has noticed this activity going on, they obviously were hiding it very well.
It's scary. It's very scary. It's dangerous. Very dangerous.
Kristen Robinson.
So unfortunate that somebody died in this explosion. But my personal thoughts, it's could have definitely been a lot worse. Now on to Canada Post Union failed to reach deal resolving labor dispute by staff of the Canadian Press, March 3rd, 2025. Well, Canada Post is accusing the union representing its more than 55,000 workers of showing little meaningful movement during mediated negotiations this weekend to end a labor dispute that saw employees ordered back to work late last year. A statement from Canada Post on Sunday says the Crown Corporation put forward a workable and affordable weekend delivery model. It says would make it competitive for parcel delivery using a dedicated part-time workforce. On to the video.
Post is accusing the union representing some 55,000 workers of showing little meaningful movement as mediated talks failed to reach a deal over the weekend. Both sides have been embroiled in a labor dispute after striking workers were ordered back to work late last year during the holiday rush. Canada Post says it tabled an affordable weekend delivery model using dedicated part-time workers. The union responded, saying their employer keeps pushing for serious rollbacks that would threaten full-time and part-time workers.
Point-in-time homeless count to take place in Capital Regional District at the end of March. Check News by Laura Brogan, March the 3rd, 2025. The biannual point-in-time count, which is a project to get a snapshot of how many homeless people are living in the Capital Regional District, will take place on March the 26th. The point-in-time count takes place every other year and is funded by the Government of Canada with an investment of $134,096 through Reaching Home, Canada's homelessness strategy. The count involves volunteers heading out over a 24-hour period to count and survey people who are living in shelters, short-term housing, or living without shelter. This aims to improve the understanding of the needs and circumstances of homeless people in the region. It will also be used to look at the results of the previous point-in-time counts to look at trends. But the actual numbers are not comparable, according to the Community Social Planning Council, which is organizing the count. Volunteer Victoria is helping to recruit volunteers for the count and to help train the volunteers and navigate the logistics on the day. Anyone interested in volunteer is to contact the volunteervictoria.bc.ca. Now, the last point-in-time count was conducted on March 7, 2023, at which point 1,665 people found that more than 1,000 people who were considered homeless had a form of provisional housing, such as transitional housing or staying at a friend's house or a motel or with a family member. Another 524 were completely unsheltered or were staying at emergency shelters such as seasonal shelters, youth shelters, or shelters for emergency accommodation. My personal thoughts. Another count. Doesn't the last year's count for anything? My suggestion is start building the homes and start filling them with our nationalists that have no homes. That means get up and leave the office and walk downtown and you'll see how many homeless people there are. The funding has been given to the political officials to build those homes. Do you think that the political officials should stop playing games and stop stalling and start taking action? Now, on to international news. China discovers extraordinary, never-ending energy source, reported by Velocity on March the 3rd, 2025.
China has made a massive discovery of thorium at the Bayan Obo mining complex in Inner Mongolia, revealing what could be the world's largest deposit of this radioactive element. This finding comes from a declassified National Geological Survey conducted by Beijing's Nuclear Research Laboratory. The deposit contains up to 1 million tons of thorium, enough to supply China's energy needs for 60,000 years. Just 5 years of mining waste from this single site could power the United States for over 1,000 years. But what makes thorium so valuable as an energy source compared to traditional nuclear fuels? Unlike uranium, thorium isn't directly fissile, but can be converted into uranium-233 to sustain nuclear fission. It's considered safer and cleaner, producing less radioactive waste and reducing nuclear meltdown risks when used in specialized reactors. The background information that's critical to understand is that thorium is estimated to be 500 times more abundant than uranium-235 and can generate 200 times more energy, making it an attractive alternative for future energy production. China hasn't wasted time capitalizing on this resource. The country is already building the world's first thorium molten salt reactor in the Gobi Desert, expected to generate 10 megawatts of electricity by 2029. This technology operates more efficiently than conventional uranium reactors with minimal risk of catastrophic failures. For over a century, nations have been engaging in wars over fossil fuels. It turns out the endless energy source lies right under our feet, noted one Beijing-based geologist who requested anonymity. The question on everyone's mind is, why would China make such a significant investment in thorium technology now? This discovery aligns perfectly with China's broader strategy to reduce dependence on coal and imported fossil fuels. The country has been aggressively pursuing nuclear innovation, including plans for thorium-powered lunar reactors for future moon bases and designs for the world's first thorium-powered nuclear container ship. Despite these advantages, extracting thorium presents substantial challenges. The process requires large amounts of acid and energy, generating significant waste. There are also concerns about thorium's potential use in nuclear weapons, though experts argue its byproducts are unsuitable for weaponization. Fan Honghai from Beijing's National Key Laboratory of Uranium Resource Exploration Mining has highlighted both the opportunities and complex issues in thorium resource development in China. The implications extend far beyond China's borders. Countries with significant thorium reserves, including India, the United States, Australia, and Norway, could gain greater energy independence if the technology proves commercially viable. This discovery therefore raises important questions about the future of global energy production and international relations. Will thorium transform our approach to nuclear power? Could this resource help nations transition away from fossil fuels without the traditional risks associated with nuclear energy? The answer lies in overcoming several practical hurdles. The initial investment in thorium-based technology is substantial, though long-term benefits could offset these costs. The world will be watching closely as China develops its thorium capabilities. As nations worldwide struggle with energy security concerns and climate change pressures, China's thorium discovery offers a glimpse into a possible future where abundant, relatively safe nuclear power becomes a reality. The technology isn't without critics, however. Some experts remain skeptical about thorium's commercial viability in the near term, noting that despite its theoretical advantages, practical implementation faces significant engineering and economic challenges. What's clear is that China's discovery represents a potential shift in global energy dynamics. Whether thorium lives up to its promise as a never-ending energy source will depend on technological innovation, economic factors, and political will in the coming decades. For now, China holds a strategic advantage in what could become the nuclear fuel of the future, a development that energy experts, policymakers, and environmental advocates will be monitoring with great interest.
Personal thoughts. New technology, new energy, which is so needed. And something else to look into is free energy. Something to research. I am Cindy Lorraine Grais of CLG View Point, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for you being here today. If you feel compelled to, please share with others. Today I'm going to share with you a video written and produced by Teresa O'Leary on March the 1st, 2025. The Repair Cafe in South Surrey, White Rock, BC. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day and see you on Wednesday, March the 5th, 2025. Enjoy.
And volunteering with Repair Cafe in South Surrey, White Rock. Basically since the beginning, then we had a hiatus for COVID and started up again to 2022, and we're going strong. I love it because it's a way of being of service to the community, and that's important to me. Also, bringing out the best in other people. We have a lot of fixers who contribute so much, and we're so grateful for them. And it's really lovely to see how they interact with each each other and with the people who come in to have their things fixed. And the environmental aspect of it, of course, is the most important thing. Save our environment.
I'm 17 years old and a grade 12 student at St. Anne Secondary, and I've been at Repair Cafe, I think, roughly about 2 years. And then in this Repair Cafe, I fixed bike, I help out in all sorts of stuff, setting up, taking down the boots and stuff, and I would say the stuff I fix the most is lamps because they're easier for like beginners to fix, and I like that process. And my favorite part for being here is, well, I guess being around with everyone and talk with them and learn different skills from them. And also I like the food here. That's nice before, you eat and then you work, which is nice. And yeah, Repair Cafe always make me feel successful, I guess? Joyful, exhausted? Not exhausted. I would say I'm just happy to be here, helping out people in the community and just make everyone's days a little bit better.
I'm at the Repair Cafe in Crescent Beach right now. I saw the posters and it's a great thing in our neighborhood. I'm glad they always have it here. I brought a mix master here that was ancient. I got it when we were married, so you can imagine how old I was. So I came and I didn't think there was any hope, and they fixed it. They had it whirring in no time. We brought a toaster one time, but that we had to buy new ones for. And today we've got something else. And I'm glad you guys are here and volunteered to do all these wonderful things for the community. Thank you.
I think we have been to Repair Cafe since 2022.
2021.
Yeah,
You
2021.
too. I began working as a Repair Cafe 2022 after you.
Yeah, and we start as apprentices, then transitioning into fixers. And the main thing I fix is probably bikes and some power tools as well, and
And I work as a sewist. I help repair clothes, and I find that really fun since I sew at home a lot.
I'm the mom of these two boys, and originally I just drove them to the place, and I thought, oh, why not? I join them together, volunteer here. So right now I'm volunteering as catering in this Repair Cafe from 2022. I thought working in Repair Cafe always make me happy. Why? I think I learned positive psychology, helping others and can help yourself. So here we are helping others, helping the world, and so not only this but also helping ourselves. And I want to be the role model for my boys. Actually, they are the role model for me sometimes. So we want to work together.
My favorite part in Repair Cafe is probably seeing all the challenges. Like every single time I come here, I face something new. Not even just fix new stuff, probably just see new stuff and new items that I've never seen before. And it's always a challenge to try to find a way to overcome the problem and fix it.
And mine is improving my sewing skill as well. Since I see new clothes and I have to find a way to find different stitches and different springs and what needle I need to use for different fabrics, and I was improving my skill in sewing. Yeah.
And another part in Repair Cafe that I really like is I got to meet new people that's different from my age that I don't usually get the opportunity to meet and become friends with them.
I wanted to repair fixtures at the Repair Cafe. This is my second Repair Cafe that I've been to. The first one was the one in Langley. I like doing this because I'm somewhat semi-retired and I do a lot of non-profit work for different agencies around town. I just happen to be wired to be able to fix things. So I used to work, and I still do. I'm a security technician. I repair alarm system, telecommunications, IT, networks, and security cameras and so forth. So this is naturally a pretty good fit for me. And I like fixing because I get to meet people. I like meeting people, and it keeps the stuff out of the landfill.
I've been a volunteer at the South Surrey White Rock Repair Cafe since September 25th, 2022. My mother is one of the organizers of this Repair Cafe, and my father is one of the fixers, and I specifically in my calendar have that I was volunteering at the Repair Cafe with Mum and Dad, and I, came out to help. I, since the beginning, have been volunteering at the exit table, so making sure that patrons can get information on the next Repair Cafes that are upcoming. They can provide feedback. If they desire to donate, they have the ability to do so, and also if they're interested in volunteering, providing some information on what that looks like. Which one of my favorite things is that our Repair Cafe is frequent enough to be regular, but not so frequent to be a really big time drain on my time. My mother spends a lot more time on it. I look after the exit table, and I also darn, so I repair fabrics by recreating patches, filling in holes, which is something simple and easy to do with my hands when I'm knitting. One of my favorite things about Repair Cafes is that they build community with an ethos on longevity and an ethos on repairability and not increasing waste, and then there's the idea of choosing items that you can repair. You could buy this polyester sweater that is so thin that when it wears out there's no fiber left to even patch onto, or you could buy a thick cashmere or a wool and buy it secondhand, and yes, it's holey, but you can fix it. And I think that North American society especially has really strayed from that idea of we spent money on this and thus we should invest some more time or money to making it usable for longer. And we have a big, oh, well, it's broken, let's just get rid of it. And I think probably some of that is the fact that we have waste collection services. So they don't see where their waste goes. But yeah, I really love that Repair Cafes build community. I love that we have people that come back time after time, that they know that we can help them and they don't have to throw something away.